Hey everyone, my name is Shauna and welcome to the 20th figure review on my channel. Yes, today, after way too long, I genuinely have to apologize for how long it's taking for all this to happen, but it is finally here and it will continue being here. Watch my newest channel update video if you want a little bit of an explanation. But Jahy from Medicos Entertainment, the basically 1/7 scale 2-in-1 figure, I ordered her from Ami, roughly $150 US including shipping, a little less than that I think. Pretty good deal considering you basically get 2 figures, but I also paid for slow shipping, so that kept the price down. But I mean, it doesn't really matter for how late I'm reviewing her anyways. The box is pretty basic, but I like the overall coloring of it. Very Halloween, kind of matches her vibe. Watch my unboxing for more details, but the little bit I will tell you in this video is that the figures did not come with any sort of plastic wrap on them, like at all, which usually is like the most basic standard of protection inside the box. I don't know how effective that stuff really is, but I did get some marks on the figure. Like immediately after opening the box, there were already some like marks, and not really damage, but just marks on the figure. I don't think they would come from, I don't know. Anyways, speaking of the marks, they were there, like I said, right out of the box. You can watch my unboxing for more details. I did do my best to clean them, but I can say I did not do it right. Should have researched more, because I further ruined the figure in the process. It is hard to notice though, which is good, but if you do find the spots, you will notice they're faded. So if you know of a good cleaner to get small marks off figs and stuff, let me know in the comments. I would very much appreciate it. I'll pin your comment, heart it. I'll send you fake money. No, you have all my thanks. Or just direct me to a video where they properly say like how to clean figures. We'll start with Jahy-sama, then move on to Jako. That is how I'll refer to them so you don't get them confused. The bases can be separated and she is quite easy to detach from her base. Jako, not so much. Her hair, I will admit, looks and feels a bit cheap. Her bangs are a separate piece, which is very common, but the line between them is much more obvious than most figures I see. The coloring doesn't carry through, so it's very obvious. Otherwise, the coloring as a whole looks pretty good, and the sculpting is done well enough. Just looks and feels a bit cheap. The plastic used for her skin, though, feels better, and the coloring is done better, too. Her face is sculpted not as well as Jako's. Her eyes are off-putting for me, because Jako's are way better, which is kind of weird, but they still match the style of the anime, so I can't really complain there. Down to her actual body, they did a really good job with the details here, especially on her back but I mean even her stomach too. Yeah, I can see why Daruji fawns over her so much. Everything is well defined and looks really good. Clothes serve their purpose and I really like the boots. Very glossy. I feel like I can almost see my reflection in them. A good figure as a whole, but I will say her pose is a bit lacking for me. The fact that she is looking down at an angle hides her face on my lower shelf. Definitely more suited for a higher shelf, which the shelf I'm showing her on here is weak and has fallen in the past, damaging multiple of my figures, so I don't put heavy figs up there anymore. Just these light small ones. Moving on to Jako, her smaller self, I've got to admit something. No matter what your definition of loli, no, I'm not into lolis at all. Never have been. I mean, you could probably tell from all the figures I've reviewed. But I will say, I think I prefer this figure over her other design. They did better on her bangs, a lot less obvious that they are separate pieces. Her face and eyes are more striking to me, her pose is a bit more dynamic and strong, and the shirt looks really good. Lots of folds and added shading, although I'll admit they almost went too overboard with the shading and wrinkles, but it still looks good. Also, yes, I bought the new replica cosplay of this t-shirt of Ami done by Cospa. I got the XL, but I doubt it'll fit me well, considering it's in the Asian sizes, you know, but oh well. Back to Jako, her legs are well defined, so are her hands and toes. I really do like the look of this one overall, especially that Kusogaki energy she's got going for her. If you're curious, no, she's not wearing anything under that shirt, as I suspected in the anime. But no, I'm not going to show you either. I know she's technically older than she looks, but YouTube isn't going to look at it that way. The base itself is pretty cool. Looks like she's standing on a large pile of mana crystals, but that color differentiation looks pretty bad, huh? And the paint chip the first time I separated them, as seen in my unboxing video. The paint chipping is whatever, because it was partially my fault, might have been too rough, yada yada, but the color difference is very off-putting. Definitely a bit of a minus for that. Size comparisons. 1/4 scale Harori button version by Freeing. My previous review, the 1/7 scale Ai Hayasaka by Amakuni. 1/10 scale Sento from the Beach Queens line by Wave. Pop-Up Parade Dark Magician Girl. And the Yongui Fei Nendoroid. The markings on the figure aside, I don't think that really subtracts too much from the total score, as it is a variable I can't accurately predict across every figure of her that's been released. So, overall, I really do like this figure. You get both of her forms for the price of a standard 1/7 scale figure. The plastic does feel a bit cheaper than normal, but the store page does say PVC and ABS, which is standard across most figs. This just feels different, especially Jako's shirt. So I'm not sure if the name of the plastic can tell you if it's good quality or not. I don't think it can. They do feel sturdy enough though, so I don't think they'll break. It's just, It's a good figure with some imperfections that might disappoint a more hardcore collector than me. So it's hard to rate this figure. Considering it is the only Jahy on the market right now, you don't really have a choice if you really want her. So this might be the only figure you ever get of her, considering I do not think a season 2 is coming. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. I'd be happy to watch a second season. Prove me wrong. If you do pick her up, I would suggest looking for pre-owns, which actually though, I'll check again. I have checked. The pre-owned figures cost more than a new figure, and you can still buy the new figure, so just check both. I will say though, if you're not fully set on the figure, if you're hesitant, I would say to pass on her. She is a bit expensive for how she feels. It's very much up to you. So that's all I got today. So thank you for watching. I hope you got something out of this review of Jahy-sama and Jako. I wish you the best of luck in all your figure collecting adventures. Farewell, my friends.